So as you guys know, it's my job as a tech reviewer to review the latest products and give you my opinion and to be as truthfully and objective as possible to help you, the viewer, make the proper purchase decision. But it's also my job as a human being to be realistic. Every day we're getting bombarded by new gaming laptops, new GPUs, and new performance promises. But the funny thing is, your 2 to 3 year old laptop is still very good. And for you to upgrade today, unless it's for a very specific reason, is mostly to do with your desire to want to have something new. So what I've done is I've taken the MSI GS75. This is a 2019 laptop using a 2018 CPU, the i7-8750H, paired with an RTX 2080 Max-Q. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare it to a laptop from 2020 and a laptop from 2021. And what you're gonna see is that in some areas, yes, there's a nice performance upgrade, but in others, there's none. Now, before we begin, I need you guys to do one thing. I need you to hit the like button if you want to see more videos based on products from the past. This will let me know and the algorithm know that you're more excited about these styles of videos. Now, before we talk about performance, I just want to talk about build quality. And look, this MSI GS75 is still going strong today. I never had any major issues with it. I've used it personally. I've given it to my friend Ash. He's used it personally, and it's never broken down. It's been a solid laptop. I'll be honest with you, this is not the best build quality. MSI has improved over the years, and I'd say their newer laptops are about 10 to 15% better in terms of build materials. But the biggest change in the industry is not so much the form factor. Like, you look at the Blade 15, for example, it's looked exactly the same for the past 2 to 3 years. The biggest changes have been on the displays. Color accuracy, color gamut, and even screen brightness is the same since 2019. Like, this display is just as color accurate and has the same color gamut as these newer displays. The only thing that's really changed is the fact that you can now buy these newer laptops with a high refresh rate. And as cool as these high refresh rates are, they're not worth it. And I don't want you going out and spending more on a faster 240 or 300 hertz refresh rate because you're not gonna get your money's worth. When I show you these performance results, a lot of these games just can't hit 300 or 240 frames per second, especially all these newer titles. It's just not possible. And even this 144 hertz display from 2019 is still ahead of its time. The funny thing is, I was expecting webcams to get better. It's not like the technology isn't there. There's tons of amazing webcams, but these vendors are still putting bad ones in our laptops. They push esports and they push streaming being at its all-time high. And we're all working from home. You would think they'd put better webcams in these computers. I know the MSI GE66 has a 1080p webcam, but it's still nothing special. Like, most of these laptops have a webcam that's just as bad as the webcams in 2018 or even 2019. The one area that has improved is GPU performance. The RTX 2080 to the RTX 3080 saw a pretty significant performance boost. Let's take a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, for example. This is a pretty old title, and you're seeing about a 22% performance boost compared to the 2019 model. A game like Dirt 5, which is more recent, you're seeing about a 30% performance increase, which is about 15% every single year. But then there's games like Deus Ex Mankind, a very old title that's heavy on the hardware. You only see about 16% performance increase. The biggest title that I saw the most drastic increase in frames per second is Wolfenstein. The RTX 2080 Max-Q only averaged 146 compared to 270 with the RTX 3080. That's a 46% increase in performance. But the one area that was truly disappointing was CPU performance. My God, this i7-8750H compared to the 10750H is only 9% slower if you're using a benchmark like Blender. Cinebench R23 single-core clock speeds, only 14% faster with the 10750H. Same holds true if you're talking multi-core speeds. And I get it, you know, these laptops are thin, they're very hard to keep cool. Intel's processors get very hot, so seeing that performance increase with these newer CPUs is very hard to do. The only way to see a performance advantage is if you go with a laptop that has 8 cores. And quite frankly, 8 cores is really not going to do much for you if you're gaming. It's more important for other applications that can utilize it. Heat, still bad, you know? They all get hot still. They all have to power limit or thermal throttle in order to keep the temps lower. But at least with the i7 8750H and even the 9750H, you can manually undervolt it to customize it to how you want it. The 10 series you can kind of do, but it's very tough to do, and not all laptops support it. Fan noise is also very loud. Nothing's changed there either. The one area that I did see some improvement though is battery life. A lot of these manufacturers are starting to stick bigger batteries inside of their laptops, so you get a bit better battery life, but overall it's not a big deal. And yes, there's Wi-Fi 6 in the newer laptops, but you can swap out the Wi-Fi card in here and place a Wi-Fi 6 card in here too. So here's the message I'm trying to get across. The next time you watch your favorite reviewer and you get super excited about the product they're talking about, and you think to yourself, you have to have it, turn them off, except me. Come on. Turn them off, sit back, reassess what you currently have, and ask yourself, is it truly worth the upgrade? Because what I've shown you today is that CPU performance in the 6-core sector was not much of an upgrade, but GPU performance went up about 30%, putting this laptop comparable to a laptop that had an RTX 3060 Ti, if that was the thing, okay? Which means it's not much of an upgrade, and you're probably better off waiting. I personally feel CPU performance needs to be between 30 and 40% better, and GPU performance needs to be about 50% better before I even consider upgrading. And that usually happens between 3 to 4 years. Now, don't get me wrong, there's sometimes a boom cycle. If you remember when NVIDIA went from Maxwell, the 960 series, to Pascal, the 10 series, that was a big deal in performance. But lately, the performance updates year over year have been kind of small. So hang on to your 2019 or 2018 laptop and wait for something that truly breaks the charts. I hope this video was helpful, because if it was, please let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.